everybody, and welcome to the Santa Podcast, your regular Friday night fix of everything that's going on in the world of European drag racing. And of course, our home, SantaPod Raceway. Luke Stevenson and I will be chatting to some great guests. And Luke, my goodness me, you've had a major studio upgrade there. That is looking fantastic. I like it.
Yes, unfortunately, they've taken away my top fuel engine. Kiefer's claimed that back for his. But look at this. This setup is absolutely fabulous that they've brought us. And I can't wait to get yourself in here at some point. And also throughout the season, we're going to have loads of guests coming to join us. And eventually, we're going to get a sofa as well. How's your week been this week?
Yeah, pretty good. Well, obviously, last weekend would have been the main event. Everybody would have been racing really hard. Typically, well, the weather was a little bit windy Friday, Saturday, but Sunday and Monday turned out okay. But very, very frustrating indeed. It would have been a clear weekend for us this weekend to everybody sort of recover and get everything back together after the main event. But it's been a good week. Good week. How about yourself?
Yeah, much the same. It has just been a typical downer of a week because the sunshine is continually out. The funniest thing is the people that we've had on the show over the weeks, like Anita, when she asked us about the weather and we said it had been so sunny, she's like, England, sunny? And I'm like, yeah, every day, every week, it is just sunny. But yeah, what can we do? But you know, one of the weird things about this kind of lockdown and not going to work, I've not been spending money on food. So I've got the money that I've spent on food, I've put aside, but I've not been saving it. Oh no, I'm a spender, unfortunately. I'm keeping everyone going. I've been onto the SantaPod website. I bought a jacket last week. This week, I bought Carlson Motorsport t-shirt from Lynn. And also I bought an FHRA t-shirt, We Shall Race Again. And that's the way I see things. We shall race again.
Oh, most definitely. Can't wait to get back up to the track. And hopefully it won't be too long before we do that. But one thing that we're not short of is some amazing guests for the Santa podcast. And boy, oh boy, have we got 4 guests tonight. Yes, we have got 2 couples for you tonight. And I don't know how this is going to go, Luke. I think it could be just a case ask one question and just let them get on with it. This is going to be quite entertaining tonight.
I think it's going to be like couples counselling, to be honest, because these guys have been stuck at home as well. So it's been homeschooling, homeworking. I think we're going to have a really good show. And don't forget also, we've got a colour commentator. We've got Keith Bartlett joining us for the show as well.
We tried to keep him off the show, but no, he keeps coming back in every week. And really looking forward to Keith's input a little bit later on. So, yeah, watch out, folks. Keith is always here.
Yeah, I sure am. Pleased to see you two again, and I'm glad you like your new studio, Luke. It's as you say, part of where we're going to go. It will improve as we go, and eventually it will be the studio we want with guests sit alongside you. And yeah, I think that would be really good. But meanwhile, I'm looking forward to having some conversations with our guests tonight. So back to you guys.
Right then, let's introduce our guests this evening. Now then. First up, well, then, there's no particular order at all because we have got 2 great couples to be bringing to the show. Now, first up, we have from the world of Top Fuel. Yeah, we've got Maja Udtian joining us, and she's brought somebody along to the show, but I can't quite recognise her. Who you brought along?
I don't know. I know I've been stuck with him for 3 months now, 24/7. So, yeah. But it's going right.
It's boring. He's killing me. Let's cut the professionalism. I want to kill her.
He does.
No.
When he says he wants to kill her, he's got the right haircut to be a killer. How on earth is that? Liam, what have you done, son?
I don't know if it was a style change or a mental breakdown, Keith, to be honest.
Perhaps you'd like to show all our viewers, you know, where this originated a couple of months ago and the reason why Maja actually got second thoughts of being with you.
So I've been through a couple of image changes, shall we say.
And I was looking for flights back home to Norway the same day.
Literally was.
Yeah.
Here we go. So here's a first one. Look, you can see that. what a hunk. And then I thought, right, no, see what, let's not go skinhead. It's a little bit aggressive. So I went as Super Mario for a few days. There we go, look. See this one? Beautiful. Super Mario or Pablo Escobar, one of the two.
You know, Maja, I feel very sorry that you couldn't find flights back to Norway. I can understand how desperately you wanted to find them.
Yeah. It's getting better every day now, though.
Yeah,
It's all going
starting to look. like I'm not in prison anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we'll discuss that later, Liam. Thank you.
Yeah.
So who else do we got on the line then, Colin?
Well, we've got the Top Fuel represented. Now let's shore the wheelbase, put a carbon fibre body over it and turn it into a funny car. And boy, oh boy, we've got a fantastic couple lined up for us now in the shape of Shelly and Kevin Kent. West 10 Motorsport, Nitro Funny Car. Good evening to the pair of you. How are you? And obviously, no hair issues for Kevin. He's never changed, does he?
No, he's always bald. Yeah, we're good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, we're absolutely fantastic. Welcome to the Santa podcast. It's going to be quite an entertaining evening. Yourselves with, of course, Liam and Maja over there. Luke and I will try and control all of you, but I've got some feelings that it might not go to plan. What do you reckon, Liam?
You've got absolutely no chance, to be honest.
He's really looking forward to having an in-depth chat with you. It won't all be about racing. It's going to be about other things as well. So just sit back and enjoy your evening with us. And of course, there's going to be so many people tuning in to watch, and we can't wait to get into the show as such. So Luke, I'm going to start. Well, you take it away, mate. You can fire off with the first one, and let's just see how our guests get on tonight.
And we're going to start off with Liam Jones, Top Fuel racer, and of course Maja Udtian, who sat with him, and as she said, just stuck with him for the last 3 months. So let's get into the interview, shall we? We'll kick off. Maja, how are you doing? You're quite young. How did your career start in drag racing? Obviously, you didn't start in Top Fuel straight away.
No, I didn't. Obviously, I've been at racing every summer since I was about 8 months, with my dad racing and my mom's just as interested. So it was always just a question of when am I old enough to start racing junior dragster? So then when I was 9, I did my license and been racing since through junior dragster and then supercom. And then I did my Top Fuel license in 2017. And then I did my first full season last year.
So moving up to Top Fuel at such a young age, Maja, I mean, that is a massive leap in performance, obviously. You are still so young. So the obvious question that I think a lot of our viewers would like to know the answer to is, what does it feel like to be young, pretty, and, to be honest, the fastest at the moment?
Did you ask Liam that question?
You're young and pretty.
Yeah, but there's 3 categories that Liam didn't qualify for there. He's not young. He's not he's the fastest at the moment.
I am very pretty, Colin. I love you.
No, it's, to be honest, I just see myself as a racer, just like everyone else, my age or gender, like never anything I've thought about. So yeah, just go out there to race and have fun.
Good. I'm literally just going to put a little tagline onto the end of that question, actually. European finals last year, you left that meeting with a new European record, 3.806. What's it like to be the European record holder?
Oh, it was amazing. And that I can have it the whole winter. And obviously we would like to keep it all this year as well, but to make a new one. But yeah, to know that you got it, it's a great feeling.
Do you flex that record when you're at home with Liam? Do you tell him, I am the fastest, go and make the cup of tea, I'm the fastest?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But then I just get, but I got better looking car, or better appearing crew, or...
This is all that matters, look, all the trophies. So we've got, what have we got here? Best appearing crew. There's no win ones. You don't need wins.
So you might not have the quickest car, but do you have the better looking crew, Liam?
Oh, definitely. I mean, Dave Mann, Gary Page, Laurie Bamford, Paul Spaxman. They could do Baywatch. Do you know what I mean? Hunks.
Baywatch with lead cast member Grandad.
Love to see Gary in a red bikini. Do you know what I mean?
Liam, I've got to say, I'm glad to see you laughing, because at the first part of those questions to Maja, you were snarling in that usual way. You still got that competitive edge, son.
Yeah, of course I have, Keith. You know, like, always, like, obviously love each other to bits, Jane, and stuff's great back home and that, but at the racetrack, then we're just competitors, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like rivals. It's like there's no love lost there. None.
I I don't have a problem with it because I do it for fun. But Liam only wants to win, so.
But that makes me even more annoyed because everything's so wholesome and light-hearted with Maja, you see, whereas I'm a bit more vicious.
I can recall back to Hockenheim when you won the event. Was it 2018? You won the event in Top Fuel.
Yeah, it was.
And there were media and hundreds of fans gathered around your pit. Someone was pouring champagne over your head from the crew, and people were like absolutely looking up to you. You were in, you know, you was total adulation. You won it. It was really good for England. And do you remember that horrible Southeast London voice in the background that said, "I don't care, you're still a fat bastard."
You're still a fat bastard. I remember it. Do you know what I mean? It was like my dad when I was little. "Oh, I got 95% there, Dad. What's wrong with the other 5? Do you know what I mean?
I took that part then, so yeah, it was cool.
And it was a great day. We all weekend we smashed it. I think we qualified number 1. I might be wrong, but we got best ET, best speed. We won a load of the more important ones like best appearing car, best appearing crew, and we won. So we couldn't have wished for anything more that weekend. It was unreal.
I've heard about that weekend a few times actually.
Yeah, well, you've got to cling on to it, aren't you? You know what I mean? There weren't many of them. So, but when we do it in style. So, yeah.
And extremely good for British drag racing, I might add.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, and we flew the flag that weekend. Couldn't have been prouder. So,
Maja and Liam there. But let's bring in our other guests. Let's bring in Shelly and Kevin Kent, of course. Now then, Top Fuel Dragster, kings of the sport, but not necessarily. Nitro Funny Cars is where Shelly and Kevin are more interested in. Guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Santa podcast. I can't see either of you wanted to go in a Top Fuel Dragster. Now you've driven Funny Cars, is that right?
Thank you, Colin. Good evening. No, it's always been Funny Car for me. Yeah, I've had no interest particularly in even entertaining the Top Fuel Dragster. There's one eye out.
Well, Shelley, you have driven a Top Fuel Dragster, haven't you? You're still on the list of the people that have done it with a 452. Do you prefer Funny Car or the Dragster?
Well, I was around Funny Cars from a very young age, travelling with Canute and Harlan, racing, and then along with Showtime. So I was always involved with Funny Cars, and I always loved Funny Cars. So meeting Kevin, and then obviously his love and passion for Funny Cars, it enlightened mine as well. So you can imagine when we got the first car, I wanted to drive it.
Yeah.
And it was a ongoing, Kevin, can I have a go? Kevin, can I have a go? No. Until you finally gave in and let me have a go, and that was that. I really enjoyed the car. I was really unsure how it would feel with the body coming down and the engine in front of you, but I actually felt more comfortable within the Funny Car than I did the Dragster. Having said that, I have not done a full pass in a Funny Car yet, so I could answer that question again hopefully when I do that soon.
Is there any truth, Shelley, in the rumour that when you wanted to drive Funny Car, Kevin said, "No, I'm the driver, you're not going to drive my car," and he said, "The day I let you drive the car, I'll shave my head." And sure enough,
I've still got 1 or 2 hairs left, but no, she's it was great when Shell drove the car. I was quite nervous for her getting in it, but as soon as that car started up and the body came down, she just turned into that demon, you know. She just done everything textbook. It was great.
you put my mind at rest, Kevin, because we know what car she's going into next. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she'll be fine. I'll tell you what, when she did drive the car, it threw a spark plug out. It tore the threads out of the cylinder head. And when it does that, you get a little bit of a flash fire. And she coped with it quite well. She brought the car over to the right-hand side of the track, which is perfect because you obviously don't want to be putting any more debris on the track or anything else. And everything was handled quite well.
But bearing in mind, when you put that plug in, didn't I say to you, is that incorrectly? You said, yeah, it's fine.
Said it'd be all right.
You said it was fine.
Said it'd be all right. It was all right for about 60 foot. Burn out in the 60 foot.
Perhaps he didn't want you to do so well.
Absolutely. I've been bending his ears for so long now. And yeah, we've had heated discussions. Just let me do one season, Kevin. Nope, I'm not giving my seat up. So here we are.
The arms now, look. I'm talking about, I've got my arms folded. You're not kicking me out of the chairs.
No, and it's true. I haven't kicked him out of his chair.
That's cool.
By his word.
You've been given your own chair. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know.
Shelley, can I ask? Obviously, the original plan for 2020 was you jumping in one of the SantaPod cars and doing a 2-car team. Now, you've been away from racing because you went and had children, but how do your children feel about this?
Oh, it's funny, really, because they don't know me as someone that drives a racing car. When I drove the funny car, they were both at their nan's house, so they still didn't at that time see me drive. So they just think it's funny. They're like, oh, Dad's gonna beat you totally. You can't drive a racing car. My daughter's like, can I have a unicorn on the car? I'm not sure Keith's gonna like that. And my son wants a picture of Sonic on it saying, let's go fast. So yeah, they're both really excited. I guess they'll be a little bit dubious with me putting on my suit and my helmet and climbing into the car, but you know, it's all new to them. It'll be new to me as well, so it'll be exciting.
I noticed you said your 2 children were at your nan's house, so they didn't see you drive. You know, I heard a rumour that Kevin was also at your nan's house because he didn't want to see you drive either.
I was there. I was on the start line like that, one eye open like a pirate. But if anyone watches the video on our Facebook, they see me. I was pumping the air with the excitement. It was great.
And so you should be.
Yeah, no, it was a proud day. But I'll tell you one thing. The only thing I'll be punching for is my parachutes as I fly past her. This is what's going to be happening next.
I tell you, he's going to be so hot under the collar.
Go back to the parachutes, right? Real funny cars, they have parachute levers up there. You pump them. You fist pump that chute out.
You never need them though, Kev, do you?
but these Dragster drivers, these ex-Dragster drivers, they like the parachutes just there. Look, they've got steering wheel here like this, and then they want to go either like that and the chutes come out, or they want just a little lever like that, just push them slowly.
Your pinky
come out.
You're having a glass of Pimm's afterwards.
Just like that.
I will add out that conversation, Liam and Maya. You know a little bit about the other one red lighting when your 2 partners were in the lanes.
I don't know what you're talking about, Keith.
Hey, Maya, he got hot under the collar.
Honestly, I can't stand racing it. It's like
I don't have any problem with it.
I don't have a lot of composure anyway, do you know what I mean? But when I get there, I lose everything.
The one that comes to my mind was last year at the finals where you actually met Maya. Maya was on a Stormer and you were slow enough to see her time on the board, which was a European record. Did you actually get down there to see her, or did you actually only make turn 1?
I don't remember. Look,
Have you been turn 1? Because that's where all the Dragsters, junior Dragsters turn off. Funny cars go to the end.
At the end? Is there a 60-foot turn off for Funny Cars? Yeah, no, that's a sort of record. And it was great. I mean, we didn't have a great weekend, but we went to finals, didn't we? But
yeah,
seeing her do that.
It's a funny story, that actually, because in the morning before we met each other first round, Liam didn't talk to me. He was genuinely pissed off at me, really like mad. And I was like, "What's up with you?" "Well, you're gonna win." I'm like, "I haven't even started. Nobody knows." "Yeah, you are gonna win." I was like, "No."
She'd had a Stormer all weekend, and then we were rubbish. No, neither of us went very far, but I went a little bit further, luckily. Yeah. So I'm not bothered.
But continuing on that, when we went to Kevin, obviously he dissed the Dragsters. Maya and Liam, would you ever look yourself going into a funny car?
To be honest, Luke, they're not fast enough. No, I'd love to have a go in a funny car. I really would. Yeah, I think you've, yeah. A lot of people have sort of said, Kev included, I think, that I'd suit a funny car more. Do you know what I mean? I think it's because I'm short and fat, but it's
perfect fit. Perfect fit.
No,
you've almost got the right haircut as well.
Yeah, I know. That's right. You know what I mean? But the Dragster's coming out in me.
Funny car, I'm definitely not moving the parachute levers for you either.
it'd take them off. Like, no, but I mean, they're unbelievable machines, aren't they? And you've got to have some proper melons to drive them. So, obviously, proverbial, don't I mean? Not actual physical ones, Shelley. But no, of course I'd love to. Mate.
Yeah, I would like to. It's not something like I dream of because I always love dragsters, but yeah, I would have a go in a funny car.
Now then, Kevin, obviously it's a team effort for all of you now, but there is a new car in the stable, isn't there? How is this one progressing?
Shell's car's sort of taken precedence on getting that finished because, well, it is 99% finished. So the new one is it arrived from coming in from the States from John Bodie Smith. We got it in, we stripped it back to the bare chassis, and was just slowly putting it together. I mean, if we got a phone call next week and says, right, this race is on, you know, my guys, they can turn around a car, they can build a car in a day or in a night.
Yeah, I think they'd like a little bit more time than that. And talking of time, because this is what it's all about, your European funny car record holder, 4.236 at 286.49 miles an hour. Obviously, the new car is going to be capable of beating that. What is the eventual goal? Would be the dream to be run the first 3-second pass in Europe in Nitro Funny Car?
It's always the aim, you know. It's a high margin. You know, you're coming out with a new car, you're gonna just really want to do a couple of checkout passes and then lean on it. You know, each year we've progressed. It's not like we've fallen back. We've had, obviously, we turn up the track, we have a few bad runs, things go wrong. But when these cars run well, you know, they're on one. You know, you don't ever want to get your foot off the throttle. Do you know, we've had a few photographs come through and we smoked the tyres past the gantry where I've not wanted to lift.
So basically, you can't see the orange markers at 1,000 foot. You're too busy just going for it, yeah?
I know I can see them, but I could also see the rest of the track. There's another extended bit, which we don't use up anymore, but I'd like to go a bit further.
Last year, you did get the chance to run to the 1320 feet. You're saying that you prefer going to the quarter mile over the 1,000 foot then?
Always. The problem is the chance we did get to run quarter mile, it rained.
So you hope that obviously Keith one day will let you do it again?
I don't need his permission. If we run 1,000 foot, I'll still run it to a quarter mile. They all turn around and say to me, you're just wasting your money. Well, I'm still skint. I was skint when we run quarter mile. I'm skint when I run 1,000 foot. So I'll just be happy.
I only brought the funny cars down to 1,000 foot to try and give you guys a chance to actually show you can go fast. But there is a good debate here. We've had the discussion with the funny cars for a couple of years. Some of the guys wanted to run a quarter of a mile. At one stage, Kevin definitely wanted to, and Dave Bryant. But do you know what? I think the spectators, believe it or not, don't all tell the difference between a quarter of a mile and 1,000 foot. So the cars are going so fast through the 1,000 foot. And although all those who understand drag racing know it's 1,000 foot, I still believe many a spectator probably thinks, wow, that car's just gone the quarter of a mile an hour in 3.8 seconds. Talking of top fuel dragsters, Kevin, of course. You know, and it's confusing. But within the racing fraternity and racers, I actually think 1,000 foot is become the norm and should, in theory, save low budget teams on parts. What's happened in America, as we all know, it didn't save anything. Once they went to 1,000 foot, they stepped up. They're now running through the 1,000 foot faster than they ever were at the quarter of a mile. It's almost crazy. You know, it's becoming where it's just as expensive to go 1,000 foot in the States now as it is a quarter of a mile. But I would like to think in Europe, especially with funny cars, we still are saving you some money and some parts. I don't know what your opinion is nowadays.
There's no money saved. There's no parts saved. You know, you might save, I don't know, a gallon of nitro. But to be honest with you, if I want to save money, I'll leave the car in the workshop. You know, I've always campaigned to go back to a quarter mile.
Yeah.
I think that ship sailed. What would be nice if we got timing tickets and it would have the quarter mile ET speed on it as well as the 1,000 foot. I'm sure there's a lot of people still on the bank that know that it's over 1,000 foot, but they're also sitting there going, I wonder what that'd be over a quarter mile.
Well, put it like this: if Top Fuel was to ever go back to a quarter of a mile, I'm speaking of Europe, not America now, those times would be slower for sure. It's unlikely that the European cars will run 380s over the quarter of a mile. There won't be much in it, but people would begin to think, why are they going? So many people would think, why are they going slower? It's very hard to go back. Very, very hard.
Yeah.
But I do agree, and certainly stateside wise, it's no difference in money and savings of anything now.
No, I mean, the way they're running their cars out there now, you know, it's just, you know, they're running them to destruction. You know, we don't want to run our cars to destruction.
No, I agree.
You know, we can't afford to run our cars to destruction. We haven't got, well, up until this year, we've never had a paid sponsor. So all the stickers and adverts we've had on the car have all been like friends or like, you know, relatives, companies. For this year, if we don't get to the track this year, but it will be for next year, the following year, we're bought on Torco. We've managed to keep hold of the Graphical Tree and Southern RV. And then you'll see other sponsors on our cars, which will be obviously my company, West End International Transport, and Shell's company, Gold Star Clearing Services.
Nice. Well, as you said, obviously, this year I don't see a lot of people going aboard, so RVs are going to be big.
And their RVs, they're nice.
Me and Colin would like to try one out at one of the events.
You want to try it? You two want to? No, they're not that type.
We don't want to share. I'm not sharing with him. He snores. I'm sure.
You have to go to a different campsite for that.
Oh, that's the trouble when you uncork a funny car driver and they just run riot, Luke. You just can't control them, and then they just come out with responses like that when you ask a perfectly sensible question and he goes and twists it around, and that's what we have to deal with, you know.
That's exactly why after the burnout, the crew member comes and shuts the hat and goes, "Shut up." Another question for you, Maja. You come from a small island in Norway, and I believe most of your sponsors come from there as well. How do they take to the racing, and who are they?
They are, I would say 90% are local, which is very fun because they really want to support the island and the people there. So you got Frey, Salmar, Lerøy, and Marine Construction, and 3 or 4 of them are in local. So yeah, it's really fun to have them on board, and it's like everyone that follows the racing from the island, they know which companies it is, and yeah, it's really fun to have local partners on board.
You know what, Colin? It's just clicked. Islanders drag racing. They live on an island.
Yeah. Just people, it's 25 years this year. It has existed.
Going to fire this one directly to Maja and Liam first, and then that gives Shelley and Kevin a chance to think about their answer. Right, Maja and Liam, if you're going out for a meal in the evening, who drives?
For my safety, we get a taxi.
Yeah.
You know, I'm known to like a tip or two. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I don't drive. And I don't trust Maja as far as I can throw it. She drives on the other side here.
So who's the better driver out of you two then?
Road or track or?
Well, we know the answer on the track. I'm talking about the road.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. I would say on the road, yes.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
But I think that's more age than anything, isn't it? In experience. Obviously, I'm not going to start saying I'm a better driver on the track because everybody knows I am. She's just luckier. But
yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Let it be good.
Well, you know that question is going to follow on after this one, but let's just go over to Shelly and Kevin. The same question to you. You're going out for the evening. Who's going to grab the keys? Who's going to be in the driver's seat?
We've got 2 kids. We don't go out. Yeah. I'll go out. I'll go to the co-op. That's about it.
We venture out onto the veranda in the garden. No, we get a cab, don't we?
Yeah.
Now, I'll see one of the questions that we always do here is, if you weren't drag racing, what would you be doing? And we'll go straight back to you, Kevin and Shelley.
Wow. I used to ride a lot of motocross, and I really enjoyed that. So if I wasn't doing drag racing, maybe I'd be doing a bit of that at the weekends.
Me, either scuba diving or going watching Chelsea. I don't know if anyone knows. I'm a truck driver, really. I used to get back. I used to get back from Switzerland off a trip, and then go to watch a football, and then you'd catch me asleep. Yeah.
Well, you would fall asleep watching Chelsea.
So you say there you're a truck driver. Obviously, that comes under key worker sort of status. Are you working?
We are. Yeah, we haven't stopped working. But business slowed down quite a bit. I don't do too much driving now myself as the business grew, but yeah, I mean we've only had to park one of the trucks up, and that was only for a week, which wasn't too terrible, to be honest.
Nice. And I assume, Shelley, you're homeschooling. How's that going?
Oh, don't. We now take each day at a time. With my daughter, it's really easy. She's such a good girl and she loves to learn. But she's that bit older. My son, he's 4, and it's a lot more difficult getting him to focus at home. There's so many other distractions at home.
Is it a case of like father, like son?
Absolutely, absolutely. When Kevin's mum watches Frankie when he does something, she's like, "Oh, Shelley, I feel so sorry for you. He's just like his father." His mannerisms, everything are just the same. The same.
Nice.
Look on the bright side, Kevin, he'd probably be able to drive a funny car before he's 17.
We've got to teach him to drive a truck first.
So throwing back to the original question to Liam and Maja, if you weren't racing, what would you be doing?
Good question. I don't know anything else. So probably be into other motorsports or classic cars, and yeah. Okay.
Well, actually, I did hear a rumor, because obviously at the end of a hard day's work, Liam comes back and he's probably going to clean his nails after working in the shop. But you come home greasy and tired because you had a more physical job, didn't you, last year?
I ran a tire shop for 2 years. So yeah, it's something different than being here, and I felt a little bit more like a man than you, maybe sometimes.
Yeah. The only tires I've ever fitted are the ones on my belly. Do you know what I mean? I don't do manual work. I'm garbage at it.
Yeah.
But
you're ready for it, Liam.
I'm too pretty. Well, it has been said, Luke. It has been said.
Pretty.
I feel it now. I want to change some tires and I see a tire shop, but should we go there, Liam? No.
Right. You imagine living with that, honestly. That's about how exciting it gets. Can't wait to change some tires. We went to Thailand on holiday, and she's looking at tire sizes there. It's like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I was looking at tire sizes, not ladyboys. But
Gonna spin I want you to turn the clocks back a little bit. I'm gonna aim this one at Liam, but a similar question will be going over to the other team as well. But Liam, 2013 is when we first saw you at the drag strip in a car, and of course it was your Super Pro Dragster with the nitrous engine in the back. Nobody really knew anything about you. I think it was the Summer Nationals 2013. Your first competitive pass was an 8.56. You got a little bit quicker since then, but your first introduction in the Dragster, can you remember much about
that? Yeah, I can actually. Yeah, it felt like I was going into like warp factor 9. Yeah, and it was. Yeah, I mean, an 8.56, like first full pass, it was pretty quick, I suppose. And I do sort of remember it. I certainly remember the first few full passes I'd done, and it just felt like, it was like you're holding on for dear life almost. And then obviously we put a bigger motor in it, and then we got even faster, got down into the 6s, and then then I got real drunk one night at Flame and Thunder, had a bet with Rob Stanley, and then done 5 years of Top Fuel. So here we go.
I do remember that in commentary when Darryl and I were sort of having a chat with you, and you mentioned, I had a bet with Rob Stanley, and I'm in Top Fuel. But in all seriousness, Liam, in the years that you've been doing it, for the British people, you've become an absolute hero. How do you feel about that when you're sat in the car and the crowd are just really cheering you on. That it must be so uplifting for you.
Oh yeah, it's massive. I mean, you do it to race, obviously, you know what I mean? But then, like you say, you pull around into the lanes and you see everybody like cheering and stuff. Sometimes, obviously, if there's no other cars running, you can hear your name and everybody's cheering and stuff. And it's a bit of you have to have a bit of a reality check, really. Like, I just see myself as a bit of a chubby bloke from Hull, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm nothing special, or, yeah, you just, I don't really know. What?
It's amazing. That's how we all see you, just some chubby bloke.
What can I say to that?
What I do like is when you're talking, and often when you've done good runs and you are very popular, you know, Colin's absolutely right. You know, you're very popular, you've really done well. And when you're in the pit and there are all the spectators gather around and you might be answering the questions from one, but everyone else is listening. And then once or twice I've seen people walk away and say, I don't know what the effing hell he's talking about. Then another person comes out who you've been talking to, and the secret is they come from your area. They can understand you. Like, you know, they say, what a great show.
it's like
and when you start saying, you know, what you've been doing, you go, you know, on the road. And no wonder people walk away. I mean, you are right. You're just a simple, tubby guy from Hull.
But it's easy when it's like that, isn't it? You don't put no front on, do you? Just get on with it, and yeah, here we are. So
saying that, I want to ask a question. We asked Anita a question the other week. Would she rather beat Liam Jones or beat Andy Carter? Now, my question is, would you rather take Maja's 1,000-foot record or Andy Carter's quarter-mile record?
Could they do any better? Well, the answer was yes. 4.57, 320 miles an hour.
I'd say Maja's 1,000-foot record, to be honest, and we've got them both in Britain, haven't we? Yeah, but it's I've never raced a quarter mile in Top Fuel, so for me it's about the 1,000-foot. I'd love to race quarter mile, obviously, but I think taking the 1,000-foot record is obviously more relevant in the time that I've been drag racing. So yeah, and I'd be taking it off there. So that would be sweet as a nut. Yeah. yeah. And you should have nothing to gloat about.
Yeah. Because we don't talk about it, but then we would probably talk about it all the time. I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We had a race the other day, actually, didn't we?
Yes.
I went for some like vitamin shots, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was who could get it in first.
And it was drinking, and he was looking up at it, and he said, "I'm beating you." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's pathetic. That's how we live.
And then he was getting more and more moody because mine was going faster. And then the woman came up and speeded up his, and then he was like, "Beating it out." I'm like, oh, no. Yes, everything is our race.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now then, we know you picked up on something there, Maja. I'm going to expand on that, and that is Liam getting moody. You know where this one's going, Liam. I think it was main event. Not only that, there was a full-blown TV crew there as well. It was against Maja.
Yep.
And you put in a storming 3-second pass. Maja, you were a little bit behind, but the cherry on the tree told the story. You came round the corner. Maja comes up and said, "Oh, you red lit?" And yeah, I said, "Oh, I won then." But Liam, you started kicking the car. You were punching the truck. Oh dear, wasn't your finest hour, was it?
No, you could say that, Colin. I think what made me pick was, so we got out of the cars, and I wasn't sure if I'd red lit or not, do you know? And so you go for it anyway. Kev, I'm sure you'll vouch for that, don't you? Don't worry, you keep your foot planted regardless, don't you, mate? Right? So anyway, got out and then got told by the marshals I'd definitely red lit. So I'm thinking, you know. So then Maja gets out of the car, all happy and cheerful, right? She thought she'd lost. Honestly, genuinely thought she'd lost. So she's like, "Well done." So I'm like,
I was happy because one of us had won anyway. See, so
that's great, isn't it? What an attitude to have. Yeah. Honestly. Right, so I was like, no, I red lit. She's like, "You red lit?" I'm like, yeah. So she turns around. Does that mean I'm through to the final? You've been racing, 15 years before that? It's like, you're through to the final. You know what I mean? So I was like, right, well, I can't hit a Pearson. I certainly can't hit Maja. Like, I don't know what to do. So I kicked the car. And then the tow truck came up and I booted that as well. And then what I didn't realise is I was being filmed for Dave at the same time. So I was like, right. So then anyway, we were on holiday, and one of my mates who's nothing to do with racing, I didn't think the programme was even going to get aired. So he sends me a WhatsApp video of me on Dave kicking my car to pieces. And then, yeah, I was a laughingstock. Yeah. It wasn't my finest hour, I'll admit that. But I'm not a great loser either, so what else do you expect?
At least one of us was in the final.
Yeah, well, at least one of us was in the final. That's all that matters, you see. Yeah, at least one of us was in the final.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
Talking of finer things, let's talk Funny Car. 2020, we were supposed to have 6 cars in Funny Car at the first round. Kevin, where do you see Funny Car going from, say, 20 to 21 onwards?
Well, I mean, if we can get to the track with 6 cars, you know, that's a massive leap forward for Funny Cars, you know. 6 cars, it's going to be great. Qualifying is going to be tough. There's going to be some unhappy people, and I hope it's not going to be me. I certainly hope it's not going to be Shelley. As for where the Funny Cars go, each year there's talk of another car coming out. There's a talk of this car coming out. That's why we wanted to bring a second car out. It sort of cements Funny Cars. There's definitely going to be 2 from West 10. You know, Dave Bryant, he's always going to be there. Mark and Jackie, their car is amazing, looks well. That's going to be out. Kevin Chapman, it's Patrick. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to make it interesting again. It's going to go back to when the series started in 2013, when I was the rookie and I was going up against Gordon Smith, John Spafford, Leif Hollander. That, I'll tell you what, for me in 2013, it was great going out racing them.
Was it always your plan to go into funny car racing? I remember seeing you, the first time I actually met you was in the Shockwave pits when you were getting yourself ready to have some runs in that car. Talk about being covered in clutch dust, oil, you name it. You were like completely obliterated, having been working on the car, and yet you're getting yourself suited, booted, and ready to do the runs as such. But what was it always the dream to go funny car racing, or was there something else on the radar?
No, it was never. It was never the outset to go from crew to driver to team owner. It was just an opportunity that Gordon Smith gave me. I tried driving their car. I drove it so bad. I'll tell you what, Dave and Gordon were just sitting there like, what is this geezer on? And the worst thing was when I was trying to drive their car, you had Shelley licensing in the Top Fuel Dragster, and I was letting her go first. So I'm lined up behind her, watch her do her burnout and her launch, straight down the track. And there's me going, yeah, she's done all right. And what do? Go about 2 foot. I didn't even get 60 foot. It's like, absolutely useless at driving it. And then we went to Runa's Christmas party, didn't we? See, this is why you should never have beer at a racetrack. Right, like Liam getting drunk, I'm going to go and do this. I was drunk at Runa's, at one of Runa's workshop Christmas parties, and there was the Batmobile, Thomas's old funny car, sitting in the corner. And then, and that's when I bought that. And I drove that real bad too. Runa was there going, what's this geezer all about? He must be mental again. And then Runa just looked at me and he just went, you've got to drive it. It's like, all right.
Good impression.
He gave me a hard time. You probably know about him. Imagine you well, I don't know, but you'll learn about him. He's a good guy, but you've got to drive the way he wants you to drive. And then we had a chassis change with the rules. Webster built a new car. We bought a new body from John Spafford, and it was like someone just flicked the switch, and it was just Cadillac all the way up and down the track. It was I've gone from unable to drive the car to running fastest record runs outside of licensing runs outside of America.
Kevin was trying to build the car, and Kevin was trying to do a lot of stuff as well as concentrating on driving. And I think that was a factor in it as well. Kevin worked so much on the car when really he should sit back and kind of let the guys do it. But no,
he
gets totally involved in. Well, you do the bottom end, don't you?
Yeah.
So he doesn't just solely concentrate on driving the car. He's working on it and thinking about all the other stuff as well. So
what you got to remember as well is before I even drove a fuel funny car, I'd never driven anything on a drag strip before. The biggest thing I'd ever driven was a DAF 95 XF. You know.
But saying that, you did crew on Top Fuel teams before you started running in Fuel Funny Car, and as you mentioned, some old names there of Fuel Funny Car. Can I ask Liam? You might know an old Fuel Funny Car racer in your team. Do you know his name by any chance?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I've heard Gary Page has had a couple of goes in one, has he? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not many people know of it.
He's got a few names though.
Yeah. I think you would do. But of course, Gary. Going. Who else?
Kevin, am I not right? In your early crew days, you was even crewing on my wife's Top Fuel car when she was 18 years of age.
That's right. I remember that very well. Also, I remember, I think it was in one of Canute's. She was driving one of Canute's cars, and he was a bit of a wheeler dealer when it comes to his parts. So you would have either got a really good car, or you would have got a crap car. Suzanne was in eliminations, and I think she car broke at 60 foot. And I remember her getting out and launching the helmet at Canute. But yeah, there's some good stories from Suzanne.
I think the joke of it all was when Suzanne talks about it, she always goes, "Oh, my Kevin, he was so sweet." I just thought, Jesus, it couldn't have been you crewing. It must have been a lookalike. She always says, "Oh, he's a sweetie, Kevin." I mean, the sweetie. There's a lot of things I would call you, but you are not a sweetie, and I'm sure.
You're making me blush now, Keith. You're making me blush. Got me missus here. Come on.
But Liam, you're not alone, son. When you say you will kick a car if you didn't do well, trust me, my wife is quite capable of kicking the car, throwing the helmet exactly the same if she gets beaten. She does not like to be beaten.
No, I can imagine that. Obviously, I raced with Suzanne last year, and I bet she can be pretty feisty, to be honest, Joe, and that's putting it mildly.
You know what? I think I'll go off a shot now. I'm going to come out of this one.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone out there that likes to lose. The only difference is, right, I ain't going to lose to Shell. But if she does beat me, it'd be a car that I put together. So, you know, the defeat won't be too bad. I'll still have a little bit of accomplishment in that win.
Yeah.
I do have to say, if you're a true racer, be it drag racing or any other motorsport or any sport, but we're talking about motorsport here, I don't think if you really want to do well, you won't like to lose. No, if you look at all the people who've done well, I'll go back to Rico Anthos when he drove in my ETFA series in the 90s. Rico was totally concentrated before a run and was not happy if he got beat and would curse himself or whatever. Andy Carter was another one, really unhappy if he got beat. And you, Liam, don't like it. I think, to be honest, it's a sign of a true racer.
I think, and again, Kev will vouch for this, it's like in the same sort of boat where you're having to pay for it yourself. And like, so obviously that ain't got any big sponsorship. So me being able to afford to race Top Fuel means me working 15, 16-hour days, 6-7 days a week. You know what I mean? So I pump everything that I've got into that. So when you do lose, so great.
You ain't just lost the race. I'll tell you what, it takes some getting over. You don't just leave that track and then go back to the normal daily life.
No.
You know, especially if you've lost on a red light or you've been beat on a hole shot. You've lost because of yourself, not because of your car.
Yeah. And all the same amount of effort's gone into it. All the same amount.
Do you know what? That's what puts me back in the workshop. Get that car turned around, get it race ready again, and then come back out and want to go and beat them again.
Yeah. You usually find most people that win all the time don't like to lose. Even Anita, who we had on our show 2 weeks ago, you know, Anita, I've known Anita since 1990. Yes, she's very self-explanatory when she loses, but I know her frame of mind and her mood is not the same when she's just been beaten. Even though she doesn't perhaps throw a helmet or kick things, I can tell you now, I know Anita so well, she is not happy when she's lost.
It's just like you said, it's so hard. It's your money, it's your time and your effort that you're putting in. And when you lose, it's just so sad for everyone. But hey, someone's got to win.
But let's be very clear here, Luke. You know, in Liam's case, just yourself for your life, your own life.
Yeah.
When he's
No,
just
that's it.
lost, you have to be really careful.
That's
I
it.
mean, you'll notice every time, do you notice when he loses, the crew don't come up? We have to put calls out for the crew to come up and pick him up.
That's it. It's either Liam or Jason Phelps that tries to run me over with anger.
Everybody just like disperses.
I will say to you, Liam, if you end up racing against Suzanne and you beat her and she thinks it's not right, she wouldn't be adverse to coming up and giving you a right-hander, that's for sure.
I've been there in the pits when Suzanne's come back and it hasn't gone her way. Well, not gone her way because she's lost, because there's been like a mix-up with the lights, or she didn't think something was quite right. Yeah. And she is on the warpath, believe me, mate. Like you.
Well, it's happy in that RF camp, isn't it? Yeah.
Honestly,
I'll stay with Funny Car.
It's like carry on drag racing. Do you know what I mean?
He's punching the car. She's throwing her helmet.
Honestly,
you come Funny Car, you'll be all right. Get away from them lunatics. They think we're mad.
It's it. Man up a bit. Well, I did try. I shaved my head, put on a bit of weight, but it's like
you're almost there.
Again.
You've got your boyish looks, mate. That's what it is. Your boyish looks.
You've lost a bit of weight. You've shaved your head. You look really mean. The one thing is your chassis is too long, son. It's too long.
I've never had
chassis.
I've never been told I've been too long before. So it's.
Yeah, well, don't care what you say, you're still a fat bastard.
Not anymore, Keith. It must be a cataracts playing up.
Yeah, well, it comes with age. Do you like the way they decorated my old people's home? I feel really.
Well, the 1929 Porter scene in the cabinet there. Is that for your birthday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's quite a few things in there. And the local guests here are all very helpful. And so, sadly, they don't understand what drag racing is. When I say drag, they all run away from me.
Right. Here's a good one. I've been thinking about this, and Keith would need to keep your input going on this one as well. But being a fan, I mean, yeah, okay, I'm a part-time racer, but, I'm a big drag racing fan. And one of the things that I would absolutely love to see would be Top Fuel against Nitro Funny Car.
Funny Cars get a head start.
Thank God for that. Oh, no. Maya's too fast.
Shell's done it, though. Shell, you've raced Dragster against Top Fuel Dragster against Gordon Smith.
Yeah.
It's been
I can't remember what year that was.
We all know there is a difference to driving a funny car to a Top Fuel car. Depending on the conditions of the track, it could be that it suits Top Fuel, but won't suit the short wheelbase funny car quite in the same way. There are, I think, to use that age-old saying, Top Fuel cars go straight, funny cars don't. That's not true, Liam. I know you still got to drive a Top Fuel car, but there is a massive difference. And sorry to say it to all of you, but real men, real drivers drive funny cars. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've wanted to say it for the last 25 minutes. Now I've said it.
Now, last year, Maja, you had a number of different sponsors on the race car. And with each sponsor, you got a different race suit. One of your race suits was rather favoured by the crew. It may have got a special name. Was it designed on something In the Night Garden by any chance?
Higgle Piggle.
Yeah, they liked that one, didn't they? Dressed up and everything in it. And,
that's it. And also, one of the rounds in the summer when you were out on tour, you started serving up food for just fans and everyone else. Liam, are you going to start doing burgers at SantaPod?
No, I'd eat them all, Luke. In fact, I remember being at Flame and Thunder and we had a massive barbecue and we had loads of burgers. And we would all the lads going past, we were like, just help yourselves, do you know what I mean? And I had about 4 of them. And I got a real bad shake, and no word of a lie. I literally got out of the car, spewed everywhere.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Maja's just staying with you just for a moment, actually. Obviously, your sister races as well. Your family are still actively involved. How do they sort of see your Top Fuel career progressing? What's the plans for the future?
Well, we were supposed to race this season, obviously, but yeah, everything happened. And then we'll see for next year. I'll have some meetings with the sponsors and that, and see how we're doing. But I know I got a sister as well that really wants to do Top Fuel. So I'm afraid she's going to kick me out of the seat soon.
Oh.
So we'll see.
I was going to say it could be a multiple car team. Obviously, a West 10 2-car team. You could actually be a 3-car team yourself. Obviously, with yourself, Liam, and your sister as well.
Yeah, and my dad as well because he wants to race. So just have a load of Top Fuel dragsters.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
They're not expensive, are they?
Get another one.
Yeah. Although you could buy a Top Fuel dragster for the same price as a Mars bar in Norway, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So honestly, it's ridiculous. $350 for a Mars bar. I've lost about 6 stone. Right.
And let's be honest, you were planning on having 2020 off. So this COVID-19 has kind of stopped everyone else getting quicker. Let's say it that way.
I was going to take 2020 out. Obviously, the last 5 years, we've sort of got to February, March time, and then all the way through till September, it's drag racing. Do you know what I mean? So business development-wise, I've taken a bit of a hit. So I just had to just break that cycle just for a year. And I mean, hopefully I'll be back 2021. Who knows? But yeah, like you say, it's almost tied in a bit nicely. Do you know what I mean? It's don't want to sound awful to people who it has actually sort of harmed or damaged or whatever. But yeah, me having that sabbatical at this time it's been pretty ideal, really.
Now then, little known to literally anybody that was watching this, my parents many years ago were guests on the programme Mr. and Mrs. And they actually won the jackpot. Now, I can't remember their exact questions, but I know one of them was based on this. And I'm going to ask this one to Shelley to start off with to see what Kevin's answer would be. Anyways, to Shelley, electrical appliances in the house, which one do you think he could operate the best? Would it be the vacuum cleaner, the washing machine, or the cooker?
I would say the vacuum cleaner.
Well, is that because it's only got one switch, as in on and off?
Yeah, I like him to use it now and then because I really don't like emptying them. So I always make sure I pack it up really well. And
it don't work. It's broke. It's all like it. We didn't do Uber. This one's broke. I look at it and I go, yeah, well, when did you last empty it? Yeah, that's how my Sundays roll.
Yeah, he does help me with things like that. But within the house, domesticated, no, he does absolutely nothing. One time I actually picked all of his pants and things off the bathroom floor and put them in the wheelie bin, and he was like, well, where's my pajamas gone? I'm like, they're in the wheelie bin. Put them in the washing basket, not
pajamas.
On the floor.
I'm a funny car driver. I don't wear pajamas.
It's a bit unfair for Maja and Liam because they haven't been together as long as Shelly and Kevin. But Maja, it's Friday night. You're going to the chip shop. Is Liam a pie and chips or is he a fish and chips?
Fish and chips?
I'd say fish and chips. I mean, normally it's salad. You know what I mean?
That salad comes with kebab, doesn't it?
You got me. You got me, look.
Question for Kevin then. Kevin, it's Christmas and Shelley is opening her Christmas presents from you. What is she going to be happier with? A new dress to go out in an evening when that big occasion comes up, or a new race suit?
Nothing. She's getting nothing. Give her a fuel funny car to drive for the year. I'm so mean, ain't I? Nah, she'll have something, but I'll tell you what, it's not flamboyant in our house. You know, it's what money we have, we spend on going racing. There ain't, you know, we spend our money on our kids. Kids get spoiled, and what's left, we go racing with.
So it's going to be a race suit then, is that what you're saying?
No, it's not going to be a race suit.
Okay.
He can never answer a direct question ever. You never can you? Even now, not just me, it's sort of everybody.
Yeah.
Shelley, what would you be happier with?
A race suit.
Right.
Bad connection, bye.
Okay, so we're heading over to Liam. So you're at a wedding. Is Maja the type of girl that's going to drag you onto the dance floor, or is she going to sit at the table with a drink with you?
Right, I tell you what, right, I am garbage at dancing, right? And there is one person on this whole planet who is worse than me, and it's air. Honestly, right? She dances like you've taken an octopus out of water, right, and just thrown it into the middle of a dance floor. Honestly, it's just like.
Now that throws me.
It embarrasses me.
That throws me to my final question of the day. You see, 2019 Bill Sport Awards. Maja, you were on the stage doing the Macarena. You did not look comfortable. That explains it now.
Yep. It's nothing.
How did that come around?
It was fun. We had a few drinks in that first, obviously, so made it a little bit better. And I dare say that the rest of them wasn't that good either. So we're all in the same boat.
I'd like to think Liam was off stage knowing every one of the moves, though.
Of course, yeah, I choreographed it for her.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, no dancing in a wedding, I think.
No, neither of us. We both yeah, proper. So no, sitting around the table drinking.
Yeah.
That's my gig.
Okay, well, I think that's coming to the end of couples counselling for this week. It's been an absolutely amazing Friday night. I've laughed not this much for a while. This has been much needed laughter therapy. Colin, what's your final thoughts for this evening?
Well, it's been great to have 4 guests on. We got 2 great couples. I think the banter between them has been absolutely fantastic. You can see, although they are friends, there's like rivalry between Top Fuel and Funny Car. You've got 2 sets of couples there, firmly set in their relative camps there, and yeah, they reckon they could take each other on and beat them, and that's all for the good. But to Kevin and Shelley, to Liam and Maja, absolutely fantastic guests. I think it's been an absolute blast tonight.
I think as the weeks go on, we're going to find this more and more. So last week, it was turbos versus superchargers. This week, it was the long pointy things versus the floppy funny cars. One final thing we've got to do. It's the week mug off.
Yes. Now then, nobody's seen this one yet because I didn't have a mug at all last week. But yeah, I managed to get the Bruce mug back. Luke, what you got, buddy?
I've got a VMS Racing mug for myself. Kevin and Shelley, what do you got? Okay, that's something for the comments then. Straight after this video, bring back the cannonball. Do you want it back? You need to put it in the comments. So we got Maja and Liam left to go.
Well, I got all my funny mugs in Norway. Or they're not funny in your eyes, are they?
They're not funny at all. Yeah,
you got your funny mug sat next to you.
We just just pretend that Liam has given me this one.
Yeah, and here's mine.
Well, okay, you've got me with your mugs. Well, you know, it makes a change, and I don't care what. You're coming running to me next year. You'll want more money. You'll want something, and in an emergency,
I want another 10 minutes as well.
Ask Keith.
I want another 10 minutes turnaround time.
Okay, I'm going to hand back to the guys now. Thanks to all 4 of you being on the show. Loved it. I knew you would be entertaining, and wish you all the best for next year. And back to you and Colin.
Okay, so we finished the show, and obviously, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see someone else on the show, leave their names in the comments, and you never know, they might join us. Hey, Colin.
Yeah, we can't wait to see who we're going to get on the next show. And the guests are... You're just going to have to wait and see next week, aren't you? Come and join us, 7 o'clock Friday evening. We'll see you then.